In this next training video for Dawn, a free online toolkit for corn producers, you'll learn how to use the Crop Progress tool. The Crop Progress tool predicts dates for important crop growth stages based on your location, planting dates, and maturity values. To use this tool, you need to go to the Dawn website at dawn.umd.edu and log into your account. See other videos in this series for more instructions on setting up your account and fields if needed. Find the Crop Progress tool on the dashboard homepage or in the Tools drop-down menu. Now let's take a look at the Crop Progress tool. Don't forget to select the correct operation at the top of the screen. We begin by choosing our climate forecast, either NOAA or CWRF. CWRF is a regional forecast tailored to the Corn Belt, whereas NOAA is a global forecast. Then select your crop, although Dawn currently only supports corn. Next, you'll select your planting dates. Depending upon the time of year, this could be past planting dates for the current season or future planting dates for the upcoming season. In this case, we will select planting dates from this current season. In Champaign, Illinois this season, some farmers were able to get some corn in late April, but then it got wet, and much of the rest of the corn was not planted until late May. So in this case, I've added two dates, one from the end of April and one from the end of May. Next, we will select our maturity values. We can select from either relative maturity units or growing degree days to maturity. In the Champaign-Urbana region, most corn hybrids range from 105 to 115 RM, or relative maturity. So I will add a few values to represent that range. Once we have selected our climate forecast, our crop, our planting dates, and our maturity values, we have all the information needed to create a forecast. The output of this tool shows dates at which a crop planted with a given RM, or relative maturity, on a given date will have reached different developmental stages: emergence, three-leaf collars, or V3, six-leaf collars, or V6, silking, or R1, milk, or R3, and black layer, or R6, also known as maturity. This video is being recorded on July 29th of 2024, and therefore we are well into the season, showing many of these dates have already passed or are soon upcoming, and therefore have high probabilities associated with them. In the case of a hybrid with 105 relative maturity, planted on April 26th, the tool predicts that hybrid would have emerged at May 6th to 7th. It's predicting it would have reached V3 by May 17th and would have reached V6 by May 25th. These are the solid lines on this graph. You will also see dotted lines. These dotted lines are of different colors, again corresponding to different growth stages. The dotted lines represent the date at which corn planted with the same RM at the same date would have reached these developmental stages with average weather over the last 30 years. This season, we are showing the solid lines before the dotted lines for each growth stage. This signifies that our spring and growing season thus far has been warmer than the 30-year average. Now let's move into some upcoming dates. To do this, we will scroll down to see other outputs from this tool for our later planting date. The tool organizes these outputs by planting date first, and then by RM. We see that for a hybrid with a relative maturity of 105 and a planting date of May 24th in the Champaign-Urbana region, the tool predicts that hybrid would have reached R1 approximately July 26th or 27th, just a couple days ago. However, if we would have planted a 115 RM relative maturity hybrid on that same date, the tool is predicting R1 for that corn in just a couple days, July 30th to 31st. Because this is so near in the future, the tool has a lot of confidence in its prediction, showing 100% probability. However, you'll see as we move out in time, we see different histograms with bars of differing widths. As the season progresses, and as we reach each phenological stage, we will see a narrowing of the bars in each histogram, showing a higher certainty of prediction around a smaller range of dates. In the case of our scenario, for a corn hybrid with 115 relative maturity planted on May 24th, we are currently showing approximately a 45% probability we will reach R3 or milk August 21st through 23rd. Now we can see, compared to our historical mean, that is only maybe a day or two before the historical mean of August 24th, shown here. When we look further out in time, we see that the histogram or bar chart bars are much wider, indicating a lower level of confidence from the model. For this example of a corn hybrid planted May 24th in the Champaign-Urbana area this year and 115 relative maturity, the range for R6 is currently September 25th through October 20th, so it's showing approximately a range of dates in which R6 could occur depending upon future weather. As we get later in the season, these ranges also be larger because of the lower heat units experienced in each day. However, as we move up, look at our earlier planting dates, we'll see a much tighter distribution. So for a corn hybrid planted April 26th with a relative maturity of 105, we're currently showing that it will reach maturity well ahead of the average weather year. Again, this dotted line means this would be the date at which a corn hybrid planted on the same day with the same relative maturity would reach R6 black layer with the average weather from 30 years. So again, our growing season is predicted to be warmer than average, at least through this early September window. As we move down, we can see our early planting date, but with our more full season hybrid, 115 relative maturity, does show a slightly wider distribution of dates, and perhaps it is skewed towards the later side. So right now, the tool is predicting that a hybrid with a relative maturity of 115, planted April 26th in the Champaign-Urbana region, will have a 40% probability of reaching R6 in the September 7th through September 9th window. Early in the season, this tool may be used for predicting dates at which certain field operations may be undertaken. For example, a side dress at V6, or perhaps a fungicide application around R1. While we can't see how the distributions look for those different phenological stages at this point in the year, we can make assumptions based upon how our distributions look for the R6 phenological stage. These phenological stages will give you a range of dates that will allow you to better plan when you may be able to attempt these applications. At the top of our output, we see a graph showing the historical freeze dates, either the last freeze of a given spring or the first freeze of a given fall for the last 30 years. The temperature which constitutes a freeze can be selected by the user in the left panel at the bottom below the Create Forecast button. The default is 28 degrees Fahrenheit. As new temperatures are selected, the graph changes to reflect the last day or first day at which overnight lows reached that temperature. Thanks for watching the video. You can find additional training modules on the Dawn website's Help section, which is found here. You can also learn about the other Dawn tools in the other videos in this series.